Hello and welcome for the love of food. Tonight we're going to be making one of those dinners that you can do when you're in a hurry and you've only got about 30 minutes to get everything from start to finish into a pan and off onto a plate to feed your family. All right, we're going to start off by boiling some bow tie pasta, or known as farfalle pasta. All right, very simple. It's going to be a pasta dish, but there's going to be meat in the dish because I found these wonderful chicken sausages, and these are going to be fried up and then added right in. These particular sausages have a little bit of basil and sun-dried tomato, but you could also use spinach and feta. I do that one all the time. Chicken sausage, farfalle. Now we're going to have a green in there, so we're going to be adding in some spinach. Very simple. That's going to go right into the pan just before we serve it. We're going to wilt that out. Now, in order for this to have a lot of flavor, we're going to be using chicken stock. And because we want this to have elements of flavor, we will use, I'm going to cheat and used the minced garlic already purchased from the store, already pre-cut and minced down. We are going to be using some frozen bagged onions that I bought when I had cut my hand and couldn't function and cut onions myself. So we're going to use these up. Now normally I would cut an onion and I would cut the garlic. You all know that about me now, but I got to use these items up, so they're going into this wonderful pot. Now the other thing that I'm going to be adding in is these cannellini beans. And what this does is this just gives it another dimension of texture as well as flavor. When we've plated everything, of course, we're going to be shaving a little Parmigiano Reggiano over the top of our dish and putting a drizzle of balsamic vinegar right over the top. This is going to be a fabulous meal. And when I tell you, it really only takes about 30 minutes to make, you're going to be very excited to make this one as one of your regular dinners for your family. All right, I'll be back in a little while. I'm going to go boil off my pasta, and I'll be back in just a bit to show you how this all comes together in the pan. All right, great. Thanks for watching For the Love of Food. So while my water is boiling, I went ahead and put my onions and garlic in my pan with a little bit of olive oil and sweated out the onions until they became translucent and my garlic became translucent. I also took those chicken sausages and cut them up into bite-sized pieces and popped them right into the middle of the pan and just pushed back these onions so that they're all around the edges of my pan so that my garlic doesn't burn or anything like that. So we'll be back after this has browned and show you what the next step of layering in this dish is going to be. Thanks for watching. So now you can see my sausages have browned, and we're going to go ahead and add in our cannelli beans. Now that the cannelli beans are in the pan, I can go ahead and add some liquid. And by the way, this liquid is chicken stock. We told you about that earlier. I'm going to start with just a little bit of chicken stock, maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of the carton that I was using. And that was a 32-ounce carton. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in some other flavoring just to make sure that this is spiced the way that I like. Typically, I will add in a little bit of black pepper, maybe some garlic salt, or some red pepper flake as well. But I know that these sausages, I can just tell by that roasted red pepper and the roast sun-dried tomato flavor and basil. This one has a lot of flavor to it. So I'm going to just wait and see how it tastes, and then I will add in a little bit of that flavoring. I'll put it in my recipe if, in fact, we need it. But just know, it's always a preference. You can always add more or less, more garlic, more onion, less garlic, less onion, more spice. It's entirely up to you. A little bit of heat with the red pepper flake. It really is a dish that you can customize for your family. So my water's boiling. I'm going to go drop in my pasta. As soon as the pasta is just about cooked, I can go ahead and layer in the spinach, and that's really going to be the last piece that goes in this dish. At that time, we'll determine if we need more liquid or if we're going to be good with what we have. Sometimes I even add in a little white wine if I have it on hand. That's a secret. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take care of my pasta. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. Our pasta is almost done, so now it's time for us to add in the final piece of this dish. Before I add this in, I did want to just tell you, though, I tasted. I came in here with my little spoon, and I took a little bit of this broth, and I tasted to see what the flavor profile was. I decided that I would just add a little bit of black pepper, maybe about half a teaspoon of black pepper, and just a tiny bit of salt, just to kick that up. Now, that's only flavor that I added, because last time we talked a little bit about maybe adding in, if it needed it, some other flavors. But I had a feeling that this new sausage that I was trying today had a tremendous amount of flavor, so we didn't need anything else. Now, after I add the spinach, remember, I'm taking away from the flavor that's already there, so I'll taste again, and I will decide at that point if it needs a little bit more flavor or not. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop my bag of spinach right in. That's why I use a ginormous pan like this, so that it can hold it all. It's going to cook it all down. Now, this was triple washed spinach, so I'm very confident that I didn't have to rewash it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put this right down on top of that liquid. And what's going to happen is that spinach is going to start to wilt, and then as it does, we're going to mix it right in with all those other flavors. So we've layered another flavor on top of what we already have that was tasting pretty nice. When that spinach looks semi-wilted, you don't want to cook it down till it's mush. When it's semi-wilted, I'll turn the heat off on this pan. I'll drain have my pasta already drained, and then we'll go ahead and plate. So I will serve this dish again with a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano on top, a little drizzle of balsamic vinegar, and it'll be wonderful. And as you can see, it took no time at all. In the time it took me to boil a pot of pasta is how quickly we made this dish. I hope that you try it, you enjoy it, and let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.